again, Rao. Auntie is bringing the free market to Arcadia. The free market is what allows anyone to choose their path in life. The free market is good.
Free market? Ah, preposterous. If it were free, anyone could take what they wished at any time.
It ain't free like that. It's free in the sense that it's been liberated from outside control. Like the Earth Directorate, or your sovereign. Folk can buy what they want, when they want.
What if someone needs something they cannot pay for?
Then they are free to take on work until they can pay for it. Look, in our society, we ain't limited by ration cards or clearance levels, only by our industriousness. Inspiring, right?
Yes, the idea of the multitudes needing to slave for basic necessities is truly inspiring. Feelings of revulsion.
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. What in places? These security measures should not be operational. And the station seems to be on reserve power. We'd best tread carefully. ambush. Perhaps some stray systemic error activated the entryway defenses. We'd best first report to security ops, lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore unhindered. Is that a footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Someone else may... My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor. I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. What places? Security should not be operational. Station seems to be on reserve power. We'd best tread. Footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else may be here. My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor. Activating that terminal sealed the room. We can search for the password to proceed, or, I suspect, triggering the defenses will do the same. Your decision, Commander. The lockdown. We may now reactivate the station in the reactor room. reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me look. Corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, what a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts. Good. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see if anything seems out of place.
None shall stand
Against us!
Back and scan. Reviving me is in everyone's best interest.
Not feasible in my current state.
Let us proceed with due haste.
I'm certain of movement below.
Gird yourself.
Passcode is Limber. No. Let's try Amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's Gavel. I should remember this. Damn it. Ambergris can't be it. That's too short for a facility like this. Wait. Oh, no.
Of the strategies of feigning innocence I have seen, this is certainly the most pathetic. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign. For these crimes... Wait, I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
I knew this man when I was still a cadet. Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker, though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
Often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause... whatever this is. Despite his faults, the Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him. That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An Arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? Didn't think that was possible. He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
That's interesting, but it must be false. Sub Rosa is a large organization. Whoever asked for Okada must have wanted him specifically. But why?
I didn't used to be like this. I can still sneak with the best of them. Not being able to remember doesn't make me any worse as an agent. It doesn't!
Any of my fellow arbiters would have killed you before this conversation began. But I can't decide whether to disdain or pity you.
I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions. I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with the station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know. I don't even know the name of this station.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction. I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not. You have my trust. But if I am to remain loyal to my morals, I must be convinced. My duty dictates it. Killing Okada may not affect the one who hired him, but his trespass is an indelible fact. He should not be here. That doesn't mean anything. An arbiter cannot trespass. And even if I could, I still act with the Protectorate's best interests in mind. Not out of some base self-interest. Were the situation different, perhaps I could look the other way. But Okada has clearly defected, and is thus not afforded such a luxury. I am familiar with the concept, but in the Protectorate, intent matters little. Manslaughter still results in death. Sedition can happen unconsciously, just as it may consciously. There is a difference. A murderer's family is imprisoned, whereas they are not in the case of incidental death. But I do suppose the perpetrator's punishment does not change. Though this is hardly the place for a discussion about Protectorate law, I do at least see your point. It is fortunate you have gained my trust, or I would not bend to one who had not. Justice must serve a purpose. Okada may live, and I hope we shan't regret it. Be gone. You've been granted your final stay of execution. Should our paths ever cross again, you know what will occur.
I didn't think this would happen. Thank you, Cadet Rao. My apologies for all the strife I caused over the years. And you, without you, I would have been reduced to my composite parts. Here, take these. I suppose you'll have more use for them than I, in my present state.
Allowing a Sub Rosa agent to leave with his life in the heart of a Protectorate station. We may have to speak on this further. But let us see what we came here for first. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal, I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years. Our work at the refugee camp did not slake your investigative hunger? I doubt you'll be able to surmise it exactly, but come even close, and I shall be impressed. For myself, the Supreme Arbiter, and Virgil especially, if judgment is the Arbiter's gavel, what is the Arbiter's scalpel? Ah, you've got the spirit exactly, if not the word itself. Very nice. An Arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an Arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that. From that terminal, it sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Consul. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Consul unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Consul. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa. I couldn't imagine the Consul pinning his duties on someone so clearly out of sorts as our recently departed friend. Besides, he has his own agents. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. As for Okada, I'm not sure what to think. My decision to allow him to go free was at odds with all I have been taught. He was a traitor and should have died. Yet, I cannot help but feel strangely justified. But he was acting against the Protectorate, even if he didn't know it. How can I act as an arbiter of justice if I allow a traitor a reprieve? To me, there cannot be. That is, there isn't. That's not possible, and I cannot afford to think of it as such. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully, we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps.
It would appear our next stop is Praetor, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you've sufficiently prepared. No. The Sentinel worked on the Consul's behalf. I do note that the agent was an odd wrinkle. But that still does not fly in the face of what I believe. Potentially. In the past, the locale was shared equally between us Arbiters and the Consul's Sentinels. However, considering the traitors crawling throughout the rest of Arcadia, I fear what duplicity the Consul may have wrought at Central Control. Excellent. I look forward to it. Why would the Supreme Arbiter... Let us make our way to Central...
A short-range transmission just came in from Zeb. Sounded urgent. He's requesting we meet him at the tomb of the Matriarch, here on Praetor. It's where the Matriarch and First Sovereign are buried, supposedly. Zeb left out the mission parameters. Probably worried his message might be intercepted. Not unfounded, given the protectorate presence on Praetor. He did say he'd reach out to us again if he needed help. Reckon we should take it as a compliment. Zeb doesn't trust easy. Anyway, I'd really like to go. Much obliged. The sooner we can rendezvous with the tomb, the better. Got the sense that whatever's going down, it's happening now.
Blast! I was halfway through my backwards recitation of each protectorate law. Good that repetition strengthens the mind. Speak freely.
Turn your lamps on that building over there. Reckon that's where we'll be able to get our hands on the rift modulator.
Protectorate control of Praetor has largely been achieved through the maintenance of a blockade. A survey of Praetor indicates there may be an alternate route past the blockade via the automech factory.
Let me know when you need a stretch.
Unleash my fight upon them! I would not refuse assistance. I shall! Once I can run! Troublemaker approaching!
Observe that formidable structure in the distance. I hope the device we are after remains within.
Protectorate control of Praetor has largely been achieved through the maintenance of a blockade. A survey of Praetor indicates there may be an alternate route past the blockade via the automech factory.
Oh there. Approach the gate and identify yourself if you're looking for access. Well, of all the improbable sights I'd never imagined to actually see, folks simply wandering around the Badlands of Praetor would be near the top of that list. I've not the mind to solve the equation that demonstrates how unlikely it is you've survived enemy combatants, hostile critters, and endless lightning in near equal measure. Is that so? Amusingly enough, I'm inclined to believe you, which means you might be just the help Exemplar Simon's been waiting for. The grounding station was built to help manage and offset the lightning that illuminates the sky and scorches the ground without pause or penance. They also used the station for a number of experiments that they ultimately lacked the capacity to complete. But, suffice it to say, we far exceeded those limitations. Nevertheless, the Exemplar is in need of help to complete his research, and our small squad lacks the manpower to provide it. But you might be the universal variable we've been waiting for. He is in the lab atop the hydraulicalized lift. Ironically, the lift was struck by lightning while the station was being reset and is stuck in its raised position. There is a trail that leads to the top. Just mind the jump onto the platform, and don't touch anything glowing, sparking, or obviously shedding lightning on your way there. And given the situation we find ourselves in, I'll be leaving the gate charged unless you're ready to pass through it. Just approach, and I'll power it down for you.
Your vitals look grim, Commander.
Should you ever need to exit the station, just approach the gate, and I can open it for you. You've been I am at my wit's end with that damn protectorate safe. If you can open it, whatever's inside is yours. I'll wash my hands of it.
So, you're the mysterious individual that's caused such a stir across Arcadia? Well, it is my sincerest of pleasures to meet you. I am Exemplar Simon, head of research at this station. Please consider me your personal conduit to this meager, yet profound portion of the universal equation. How may I be of service? Originally, the Protectorate designed this facility to control those grounding towers, which are the only thing keeping Praetor's ceaseless lightning from turning us all into ash. And to be sure, that is the only reason Anti or the Protectorate haven't taken this place by force. They are rightly terrified of what happens if this station goes offline. However, neglect during this conflict led to Axon's shorting at 5 of the towers, causing gross misalignment. If they aren't realigned, the failures will catastrophically cascade. Prior to being driven from this facility, the Protectorate was exploring lightning-powered explosives. The concept was clearly beyond them, but I have already solved their errors. So with each tower you align, I can produce a batch of the explosives they theorized, and I would happily share them with you. Indeed. When aligned, each tower fills a capacitor I've modified, which provides me with enough electrical accumulation to fabricate a handful of these explosives. Unfortunately, the capacitors are only able to hold the charge for mere moments before failing catastrophically. Thus, I'm limited in production by the 5 capacitors that remain. So, for each tower you align, I am able to fabricate a handful of these electron explosives, the sum of which I shall share with you. That is fantastic news. I'll begin fabrication as soon as you've aligned each tower, and so I shall have the explosives ready for you upon your return.
You're about to enter territory controlled by Andy's choice. Act accordingly, or you'll end up as close friends with the inside of a Raptidon. I'm a huge admirer of your work from a safe distance.
Give the order,
And I'll take care of him, Commander. Can't just shoot in the thin air.
come at me. Hey, got a distraction for you? I'm going to skip the game, I think.
Do you have my back?
You have my thanks.
Trigger finger still tight. Ready to...
Things take time, Commander. I'm the one you need to worry about.
At your word, I shall charge. invaders seek to keep us out. And if they want us out,
Like we're about to
I
have company
want
of the
in.
unwanted kind. You've 5 seconds to make plain your intent before I let my boys here pitch some swill at you. Friend, huh? All the more reason you ought to turn a somersault and stroll on back the way you came. A chemical factory's no place for idle wanderings. The none of your business kind. Fine. Just don't come claiming damages after your first mishap. Here, you've access to the main floor, but mind yourself. There's a fair few hazards about the factory, and folks on the upper level aren't like to be as amenable as me about your visit.
This factory used to be a protectorate site, you know. It's really going downhill under the new owners.
The console is really running the show. Who knows? We have all the jigsaw.
But hate to waste my weekly allotment of bullets on you. Keep away from the stairs.
Banter elsewhere.
You seem like a go-getter. Let's get some lunch sometime.
Looking a few quarts low, Commander.
There's a new face. Any chance you've brung news from the commander? Can't restart the dig without his permission. And clock's ticking on my getting that early completion bonus. Started getting peculiar vibrations as we hit the halfway point. Could be nothing, but I got this job because the last foreman ignored similar readings. It ended poorly for him. Thanks. You ask me, I definitely earned it. It's a puzzler, that's for sure. More likely than not, some kind of old protectorate infrastructure. Maybe sewage or a conveyor. Messy, but mostly harmless. Worst case, it's a uranium gas pipe, and further drilling will kill everyone here in seconds. It'd be hard to collect bits for making a tunnel with no workers to dig it first. I see the angle you're coming from, but the long-term cost of hiring and training new workers outweighs the short-term gains of massive, layoffs. Keeping workers with hands-on experience is an important factor for long-term profitability. Good thinking, though. I'll keep you in mind next time I need help cutting costs. Not unless your lamps can see through solid rock and figure out what's on the far side. Goodbye, early completion bonus. You back to see more of the tunnel? I'll save you the trip. Not a pebble has budged. Same is true of our bit accounts, sadly. Pardon me, but you what? You just have a magic little device in your pocket that lets you detect enemy troops through 2 feet of solid rock? Well, ain't that something? Wait, that means they already dug half the tunnel for me. That bonus is still in reach. That don't change me needing to get the commander's go-ahead to restart the digging. What say you run yourself back to the base and get me the okay? Just down the road. Can't miss it.
What have we here? You're definitely not a member of my battalion. You best be here on business. My time is valuable. Forgive my incredulity, but how did you get that information? I see. Quite a useful bit of technology. Our engineers determined this was the most geologically stable place to tunnel. The Protectorate likely did the same, and even stopped drilling for the same reason we did. I'll send orders to resume drilling immediately. We'll take them by surprise, send them running, and I'll be one step closer to getting off this dirtball.
Have you read any worthwhile periodicals of late?
I'm not much of a reader these days, though I do have a few worn issues of Commander Zane and Buddy I like to flip through every now and then. What about you? What's an arbiter read in his off hours?
Oh, nothing you'd be interested in. Protectorate periodicals about being loyal subjects and the like. Upholding the sovereign. Nobility and all that.
Sure. I suppose honor's path could conceivably be about honor and restraint. Like the cover of that one myself.
Those fools. Protectorate subjects should know better than to attack a Protectorate arbiter. I had no choice but to judge them as traitors to the Protectorate. Why would they simply open fire? Why wouldn't they attempt to conversate? Then they should have reported me to their superiors rather than attempting to exact justice themselves. I shall continue to answer slights of this nature through violence, but hopefully I shall not need to do this more than a few times.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
To battle!
Hostile man. Guards cocked and loaded.
Have you considered that splitting ourselves by...
Liquored up on. Ready to take the heat off you. Rose me. My injuries are not... Malefactor ahead.
Zeb always wanted to bring change to Arcadia, like you and I are doing now, Commander. Feels good to see some of those dreams realized. Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind? If it ain't my favorite commander, just stopping by to chat or...
Help me out!
Knew you had my back. Give the order, and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Hey, got a distraction for you.
You have my thanks and my hand.
Lethal measures at the ready, Commander.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
I'm seeing unfriendly soldiers.
Central Control is open to no visitors. Turn around. Best turn around. Central Control isn't... Wait. Orbit around? What are you doing here? I've heard a great deal regarding your exploits within the Protectorate. And it is all that prevents me from summoning the Guard. I've strict orders to arrest you on sight.
I've no desire to slay you, but if you seek to prevent me from pursuing my duties, I will have no other choice.
Arbiter Rao did not report to the Consul's summons. Consequently, he is wanted for questioning. It is only our difference in rank that stays my hand from attempting arrest. Very well. I shall not sound the alarm. But you are still not permitted to enter this facility either through this entry or any side route. I shall be watching.
Commander, let us speak privately on our next course of action. I sense we close in on something central. I did not care for that exchange at all. The idea that the Consul would stymie me individually is rather disturbing. Regardless, we do have alternate means of ingress. I seem to recall a number of creatures bypassing the left fence through some upper path we were never able to find. There's also the prisoner entrance on the right. If you're sufficiently dexterous, you may be able to bypass the safeguards to get us in.
left. Oh.
Smells like paint and agitated dust. Renovations, I surmise. That elevator over there goes to the Supreme Arbiter's old office. I hope the technicians have kept it in working order. I believe what we need is on that terminal. I'll see if I can find my way in. The terminal's locked, which is no surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode. Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked. I think this may unlock the terminal, but the toggle mechanism appears compromised. I shall hold it. You attempt to gain access to the machine.
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold... What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot. Actually, it wasn't. Perhaps at first, until I discerned her true intentions. My mentor hated the Consul and was deeply devoted to the Sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the Consul into a trap.
There's a simpler explanation here, Tristan. You're just refusing to see it.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense. It's not obvious to me. You didn't know her. Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you. Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhall, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough.
This is not the time for your deranged jests.
Well, that's ridiculous. My interest in Arbiter Rao is purely professional.
Enough. This has been an unpleasant day, and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless, and accosting a higher-ranked arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort. There's no discussion to be had with criminals. I needed to see firsthand that Arbiter Rao had abandoned his station. He has, and must meet my judgment.
These accusations of yours are slander. If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken. At Oculus, and again at the Vox, you showed me that the law may be interpreted. Clemency can be granted where before it would be unthinkable. Here my sense of duty clamors to be answered. But as much as it surprises me to admit it, I think you're correct. To this recruit, I've diverged from the path of righteousness. Slaying her for sincerely trying to do what is right would be a farce of justice. I would not. But I know the reality of swaying an arbiter from their chosen path. It's likely this situation may devolve into violence regardless.
What is this insanity? I would never imagine an arbiter balking from their chosen course. I had hoped Arbiter Rao would come to his senses, but obviously to no avail. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters.
He was simply doing his duty, just as you or I must every day. Killing him would have been wrong, even though attempting to arrest me was a criminal act.
That's even worse than I thought. You chose not to do your duty, and expect telling me so would soften my decision to judge you?
The Supreme Arbiter taught me to follow my own sense of justice. And I have. Use your mind. Think about what I did. What you intend to do. Is this moral? Is this right?
What of it? Someone has to stop him.
Ironic. You came here to judge me for much the same reason I have, as you so claim, deserted. I chose to investigate the Supreme Arbiter's death on my own. You chose to investigate my departure on your own. You seek to judge me for the very crime you are guilty of.
That's impossible. I refuse to believe we both could be guilty if we were simply following what we were taught.
We don't know that for certain, but to an onlooker without our knowledge, it could seem that way. And such presumed traitorousness would be very confusing.
Even the Supreme Arbiter has struggled with this? That doesn't seem possible. But I suppose there's no way to ask her now. I shall trust your words. Consider my hand stayed. I can see that judging Tristan would only rob the Protectorate of another of its servants. It seems I must reflect on this matter.
It would appear we're in agreement. Neither of us shall raise a hand against the other. I'm pleased.
Guess a canid can change his spots. Sometimes.
So, what course of action do we take now?
It's important for an arbiter to use their forebrain. Next time you encounter something as strange as a loyal arbiter diverging from the path of righteousness, investigate. You may find more questions than answers. But deciphering them and interpreting justice as best we can is how we might serve Arcadia.
Uphold justice in my way. I'll attempt to remember that, Arbiter Rao. Thank you.
Glory to the Protectorate, Junior Arbiter. Make me proud. I'm pleased we were able to resolve that altercation peaceably. Robbing Arcadia of an enthusiastic recruit would have given me little joy.
You're showing a lot more restraint these days than I'd expect. Mayhall's right to look up to you.
You know, I'd even venture to say she reminded me just a little of myself as a lad. I assure you, I was once there. Any arbiter of note must build their character on a foundation of enthusiasm. All this excitement did not make me forget the confession on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I have to bring it to Virgil. Together, we can discover exactly what transpired. Have you lived all your life within the Protectorate? No. What do you know about what makes an arbiter? I refuse to question the Supreme Arbiter, just as I refuse to cast every belief I hold dear into the mud. Push me no more. Virgil will know what to make of this. He'll Together we'll figure out what to do. I'll message him when we return to the ship. Hopefully he shall respond. Quickly.
Better investigate.
Help you? What?
Prosecuting! Viscerally! I despise asking for aid.
Invasive element.
A right shifty looking individual, if you ask me.
Appreciate a little help, Commander.
To battle!
You have my thanks and my hammer. None shall stand against us!
Troublemaker approaching.
How are you still upright over there?
Ready to dispense justice!
Not walking this off.
Witness what befalls of the authority of the sovereign. Who?
Greetings, fellow loyal citizen of the Protectorate. It is inconceivable that the Sentinels would allow a hostile into such close proximity to Central. And you did not immediately open fire on me. Well, because I was ordered to, of course. Oh, of course. My mistake. It's obviously because my commander wants it done, and has more important things to attend to personally. Because their superior officer wanted it done? Oh no! Should I call for medical aid? Regretfully, I think I just burned that spare communication device. Medical kit? Nope. Burn that too.
Who's there?
Ready to take the heat off, Commander. Just say when.
That cover spot looks much better.
Attention, Commander. There may be valuable parts at this location that can improve this unit's functionality. Performing a thorough search of the Automech factory is advised. Should you wish to maximize your Valerie unit's combat effectiveness, building factory schematics. It is likely the desired parts are being stored somewhere on the ground floor.
That doesn't sound like anything I'd like to be close.
Troublemaker from... Guns cocked and loaded.
Have you no battlefield decorum?
Commander, what is your word? I shall charge! This to the complicit! Trigger, trigger! Combat!
My injuries are not superficial. You have my...
Give the order, and I'll take care of him, Commander.
I am primed to punish. You have my thanks and my hammer.
Once you reach the vault, it will all be worth it. Trust. Your arrival cannot be more timely. After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I'm, glad to see you again as well, Niles.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret. For any subject, visiting the matriarch and First Sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of empty social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are its least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire revealed a vault in its lowest level containing the matriarch's body of work, hidden from the public. Who knows what technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the matriarch was the genius she's purported to be, the skip drive cannot be the entirety of her inventions.
Doubtable. Any breakthroughs in weaponry would have been assigned to the front, despite the obvious blasphemy of defacing the matriarch's grave.
Whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here, the goal is almost certainly to keep the populace of Arcadia subservient to the pernicious whims of its governing body. But not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the matriarch's research, whatever it may be, and distribute it to the people. The time for considering risk is past. We cannot afford to be timid when battling giants. Besides, now I have 2 Earth Directorate agents to assist me. What could go wrong?
I can see a half-dozen points of failure, but bad odds ain't ever stopped us before.
Glad we're operating under the same understanding. We're unlikely to have another chance like this. We must follow through now that we've made the opening. Which also means, once inside, we cannot leave until it's done.
There's no one else left. Consul made damn sure of that.
The failure at the Vox, an escaped prisoner, cannot be tolerated. The Consul ordered a colony-wide search that netted the rest of our cell. Audra blames herself, even though she shouldn't.
Don't tell me how to feel, Zeb. You mind your guilt, I'll mind mine.
what the commander said. We thought we were doing the right thing.
I will not pretend it isn't a blow, but what's done is done. There will be time to grieve once the Protectorate is dead and buried.
Slim chance of that. I'll not assign a task to others that I'm unwilling to undertake myself.
Color me surprised.
Must you? We are on the precipice here, and I shouldn't have to tell you what awaits us if we fail.